YouTube, Niner Empire, welcome back to another video here. There's a lot of news today for Niners. Deebo Samuel, Alex Mack, Frank Gore, among names that I'm going to be covering in the next couple of videos. I definitely want to start with this Deebo Samuel stuff. Matt Maiocco and Laura Britt of NBC Sports Bay Area were interviewing John Lynch at the Dwight Clark Legacy Series event that took place last night. He was on stage with, Matt Maiocco and Laura Britt, and Matt Maiocco actually asked about the situation with Deebo Samuel, who obviously requested a trade during the offseason. He basically asked John Lynch if Deebo would be a part of the 49ers moving forward, and John Lynch basically said, we haven't traded him. I'd be a fool to trade him. So, yes, Deebo will be a part of the 49ers this season. That sounds pretty definitive. I don't think the 49ers ever had intentions of trading him. I know, they listened to offers on him and whatnot, but at the end of the day, if Deebo didn't get traded during the draft, I don't think there was ever a chance that he would be traded at all. I think even anybody with a brain knows that the Niners are not going to trade Deebo Samuel now. Now, he obviously hasn't been with the team during these team activities in the offseason and in the summer here. But at the end of the day, it's pretty good to know that the 49ers have no plans to move Deebo or to trade him, and I think they're not going to. Even though he said that, anything can happen, but at the end of the day, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan are among the best personalities in football. They know how to amend relationships. They're smart when it comes to things like that. And something also to note, I don't think, obviously if the 49ers are keeping Deebo, they're going to extend him. I don't think that Deebo is a type of player to hold out by any means. I definitely think he should be extended. I think he should be paid what he wants to be paid. The 49ers are eventually going to have to come to terms with that. I don't know if, they're waiting on Jimmy G to be traded. I mean, the fact of it is, Jimmy G is not refraining the 49ers from paying Deebo. That was never an issue. I think the 49ers were probably lowballing Deebo. I think he expressed frustration by requesting a trade out, and the 49ers understand now that in order to keep Deebo this season, they're going to have to, bottom line, they're going to have to pay him what he wants, and I think they will. I think when it comes down to it, the 49ers, Richard Sherman said this in his podcast, the 49ers always lowball players, at the beginning of negotiations. I think eventually, when it comes to extending players, I think eventually they'll get to talking, at the rate the player wants to be paid. And I think they will give Deebo the contract he wants, but I think out of frustration, Deebo probably was surprised by the offers that the 49ers initially offered him, and he expressed his frustration by requesting a trade. The fact of it is, if Deebo wasn't going to be traded during the draft, there was never a doubt in my mind that he would be traded at all, and it doesn't make sense for Deebo to be traded. He's the best offensive weapon the 49ers have. I know that the 49ers eventually are going to pay him what he wants. It's just a matter of time, and it just depends on when. But it's good to know that the 49ers have no intentions of trading him. John Lynch, had a definite answer for that, and Deebo's not going anywhere. And like John Lynch said, he's going to be a part of the Niners for this upcoming season. And like I said, I don't think Deebo is the type of player to hold out. I think if the 49ers are saying they're going to keep him, I think that also means that they're going to extend him and mend that relationship. So I have nothing but faith in John Lynch and Shanahan to get that done. I really just would prefer it to be done sooner rather than to later. But either way, it's good to know that they're not going to be trading him. And I know a lot of people are probably saying, he probably is just saying that, this and that. The 49ers are stupid to trade Deebo. It's not that the 49ers want to trade Deebo or they're playing. The bottom line is the 49ers would be stupid. I think they understand and they're smart enough to know that they're not trading Deebo for any type of asking price because it's just not worth it. And it's just not worth what he means to the team. He's the heart and soul of the team, the best player on our team. And the bottom line is you can't trade a guy like that. You can't trade a guy that's not even off of his rookie deal yet, and he's already pretty much the best player on your team. Like, you can't do that, and I think the Niners are smart enough not to trade him. During the draft, I thought that there was definitely a possibility they could trade him, but there's stuff that's probably out there, and there's more that the 49ers know than obviously what we know. I mean, not everything about this situation is going to be reported on. John Lynch has also said, they've made progress in talks, so that means that they're not, obviously, not talking to each other at all. I think Deebo needed time to cool down. He was pissed off at what the offer was, the initial offer that the 49ers gave, or that they offered, and I think that Deebo, showing his frustration, requested a trade out. Does that mean he's going to be traded? Absolutely not. There's been multiple players throughout the NFL that have requested trades and then ended up mending that relationship with their respected team and signed an extension. So, bottom line is Deebo's not going anywhere. I don't think he ever was going anywhere. And I don't think it's one of those situations that where if he's not paid what he wants to be paid, he's going to sit out. Deebo's not that type of player. And there's been numerous amount of people that have said that in the NFL world, people that are close to him. He's not going to sit out. The 49ers will extend him. I think this thing was definitely blown up more than what it should have been. But at the end of the day, the Niners aren't trading him, and that's good to know.